Alright, we're back with The Nightmare Before Christmas. Let's head on into Oogie's Manor. Yeah, it's a walk-in bathtub.
Oh yeah. They should make a sequel, The Nightmare After Easter.
Well, they did have that area with all the trees leading to the different holiday lands.
I like to think that you plant one of those trees when a new holiday is invented, so over time it gets bigger and bigger. No, that's stupid. Oh, I like that. Wait, you can jump down. Oh, I thought that was like a skybox bottomless pit situation.
Nope, it's fully modeled down here.
Okay.
So right there, that Trinity used to be in Oogie's Manor itself, but due to things that happen, it would be, if you didn't get it while Oogie's Manor was here, it would become permanently invisible.
Oh no, you're right. I never thought about that.
So I believe from Final Mix onwards, like Japanese Final Mix onwards, they moved it down here, so it was always accessible. That was like one of the only missable things in the original game.
I'm surprised it was only one of, because it's funny, like, you know, few games get to do what Kingdom Hearts has done. That is to say, what have they had, like 2, 3 re-releases of this game?
There was Final Mix, which I believe came out the same year as the original release did in Japan. It was just a few months later. Let's see. The original Japanese release of Kingdom Hearts 1 was March 28th, 2002. The North American release was September 17th, 2002. And the Japanese release of Final Mix was December 26th, 2002. So, yeah. And then the PS3 release, which was the next time it was re-released, which is mostly just Final Mix, but with a couple of additions. That was in 2013, again, March and September for Japan and North America.
Man.
And so like one of the things that the PS3 version added were these triangle things.
Triangle things?
Ability to interact with things using triangle instead of the command menu.
Yeah, it's been so long since I played the PS2 version that I kind of forget about some of the quality of life features.
I want to say that you first tried playing on PS3.
Yeah, that sounds right.
Yeah,
well,
there are very minor changes on the Kingdom Hearts games from PS3 onwards, and pretty much the PS4 version is the same as everything else that is available now.
Right. I think I did play the PS2 version, but that was like so long ago. But it wasn't much. But yeah, it's funny. 2013 both feels weirdly recent and forever ago to me. It's kind of, I feel like the last year where time felt normal. Whoa, he's just late. So do they die if they fall, or do they just, like, come back?
I think they just despawn.
Nice. That's always fun.
Which, this game, it took a long time for Kingdom Hearts. When enemies respawn, they get all their health back, no matter how damaged they were beforehand. I believe it was Dream Drop Distance that finally stopped that.
Yeah, that's a mod. That's a mod that needs to exist. That's terrible.
Yeah, so Oogie's Manor is both good and bad. I mean, it's a big area. It's got a lot going on vertically, kind of fairly interesting. The problem is that with how vertical it is, you fall down, and it's a real pain getting back up.
It would be nice.
There's a lot of... It's a similar problem to Monstro, where you have a lot of flying enemies that go out over ledges, and there's no good way to attack them.
So there's no, like, once you get up to a certain point, there's a shortcut to get back up if you fall down situation?
That's what the tub is for. When you fall down, it gets you back up to, like, the base of the manor. And you don't spend a whole lot of time on the manor itself, so it's not that bad. You're mostly just trying to get to the top here.
Yeah. It's funny, I was just today at work watching Vinny play through DK64, getting to, what is it? Like it's Creepy Castle or something, but very similar vibes, actually. Like climbing a big structure. And I feel like that was a big thing in video games for a while. And I like the motif, but if you fall down, then it does suck really bad. So.
Yeah, I know a lot of people really like the idea of climbing up, something that the sense of progression inherent in that type of level design in games. I'm always like, well, if you fall down, then usually dying is better if you fall down.
Oh yeah.
Because if you land, then that means that you've lost a whole ton of progress.
Oh yeah, I've had that situation.
All right, time to fight
beat up some
Shock
kids.
and Barrel. Yep. Now, here's something interesting. If you defeat the kids in order of their names, Lock, then Shock, then Barrel, I believe you get an EXP boost.
Okay, that's cool.
So I believe I'm
keep them straight.
targeting Lock.
I don't.
Here.
Who is 2 actually?
So I believe that Lock is the devil here, Shock is the witch, and Barrel is the skeleton.
I do like the idea of Halloween Town having some trick-or-treater little citizens, but it is weird because you're like, well, they're kind of the only kids we see, but are they like monsters?
I would imagine that they have parents that are much more in line with what they're dressing up as.
Huh. The implication that everyone in Halloween Town starts out normal as a kid and then grows into something monstrous is terrifying. I don't like that. I also hate how they look with their masks off because... You ever seen the show Real Monsters?
Not really, no.
Yeah, I barely touched that one myself, but getting a little bit of vibes.
All right, so here's the second save point in Halloween Town. Unfortunately, it's not going to be here for very long.
Let's just say if it was still there, you wouldn't want to go in it anyway.
I mean, having a save point out in the Oogie's Manor area wouldn't be the worst thing. I think that they should have at least done that.
Yeah, I'm more joking at what this manor becomes and why you would not want to return here.
Yeah, we'll get to that in a little bit later. So another thing is that you have to hit this lever here, because that opens up the door to the next part of the game.
That is surprisingly detailed mechanics. Like, even the little, like, gauge moving like that's nice subtle animation.
Yeah, I end up fighting a lot of White Knights, those mummy heartless in this game, because they drop a synthesis item that I never have enough of. You don't come across enough of it organically.
This looks like where you've already been.
Yeah, I'm going back down where I already was. However, hitting that switch also opens up a bunch of things, like that door I showed was closed earlier.
Right.
It lowers these cages so that they're easier to access.
Okay.
However, in regards to the chests, you really don't have to worry about it, because once you finish this world, they will all be collected in a easily accessible place.
Oh, good. Yeah, I love just shotgunning repeatedly with fire. That feels pretty good when you can do it.
Now, last time we were talking about magic shortcuts and how this game only has 3,
right.
and there's really no excuse for it to have 4. Technically, it kind of does have 4, because of the way the magic menu works. You can have what's called a soft shortcut, where whatever magic you select manually in the magic menu will continue to be selected. So you can cast a 4th spell pretty easily by just pressing down and X twice to select the last magic spell that you selected.
That's pretty cool, actually.
I believe that's what I just did right there with fire, so fire's kind of like my soft magic spell right now.
I just noticed that Sora has a snaggletooth.
So this room right here was locked until we hit that lever. The problem with the soft shortcut is that it has a tendency to reset in certain circumstances. So you can't always rely on it.
Yeah.
Want it? Well then come on over and get it!
Gotta cut away so that we don't have to animate the entire process of it going down his mouth.
Yeah.
Let's see if I can get their attention. Oh, hello! This is it? Nobody disrespects me!
Looks like Oogie isn't as good at controlling the power of darkness as some of the other villains.
Well, he is pretty C tier, if not D tier, if not R tier, in terms of Disney villains in my eyes. I forget he exists a lot.
Yeah, even when I remember that the Nightmare Before Christmas is a thing, I tend not to remember that Oogie Boogie is a part of it.
You know, that is an interesting thought, is if you could have one villain that wasn't represented in Kingdom Hearts, like either be in it or in the series or have better representation, who would it be?
Oh, I don't know. Okay, so the process here is that after Oogie does a few rounds of attacks and whatnot, the buttons will light up, and whichever one you stand on will cause fences to go up on the other side up above in accordance to the section of that button. So you, like, trap Oogie, and then it goes up and you can jump up. But that top one there, it's really hard to jump up that high, so I basically wasted that first cycle.
Yeah,
But now I can rock it.
I did... Okay, here's an embarrassing moment. I didn't know you could jump up here. So I was, like, trying to hit Oogie from a distance.
With magic?
Or something. It was... I just know that this... I died a lot at this fight, but I also... This fight just dragged on and on and on. And it's probably because of that.
Yeah. It doesn't take too long if you can, get up here and attack him. But then, after a little while, he'll just go invincible and knock you down again.
Yeah.
I believe you can get faster cycles if you did what I did there, which is hit all of the dice back up to him.
Oh.
But right there, I didn't make sure that he was within the area, so...
Oh, and he's invincible?
He might be.
Because he was not taking damage to that lightning.
That could have just been due to the specific animation he was in. But usually they give you mercy, and if they have like a sliver of health left, you can burn some MP and hit them with thunder to just get it over with.
I want to say that I played through this world before I actually watched the movie in full. Yeah. I'm not sure. I can't really think of any other Disney movies where that's the case, but then again, I don't know what other worlds are in Kingdom Hearts, because I haven't played 2 or 3 all that much.
I would say that I've seen most of them before I did their Kingdom Hearts worlds. Although some of them are based off of very vague memories when I watched them, like as a little kid. Like most of the classic princess movies, that I had 2 brothers. Those weren't a big deal in my household.
Yeah. I may have had a sister, but I think what really helped with me seeing a lot of the older stuff was that I have a very nostalgic mom who enjoys watching, like, Cinderella, which I feel like has a really cool vibe that no other Disney movie has. All right, we got...
I'm summoning Bambi here to get a bunch more MP so I can just finish off that last
Okay,
sword.
that makes me wonder. So Dumbo can do damage, right?
Yes.
Could you use the fact that Dumbo can fly to hit Oogie, like, easier? Or, like, when you're not raised up on the platform?
It's possible.
I'm gonna have to look
But
into that.
yeah, so right there I just said, well, he doesn't have much left, I'll just thunder him to death.
Nice.
It's not very efficient in terms of MP, but...
I forgot about this.
Yep, he's a bag of bugs.
Is he the bag or is he the bugs?
I want to say that there's a master bug that is his consciousness.
Like maybe that last one?
Yeah.
Step on it.
On
Heart
what basis
failure.
are you saying that, Jack?
Yeah, wait. What does that mean? Because Yeah, that doesn't, like, what, because he didn't have a heart, or... No,
I mean, Oogie Boogie has a heart. I'm
yeah,
pretty
that
sure.
doesn't make.
I'm not sure what he was expecting to happen from swallowing the heart, other than just keeping it out of their hands.
I guess it is realistic writing to have a character say something stupid, because that's what people really do.
Yeah, I'm not quite sure what Jack was getting at there. Oh my goodness, he merged with his house.
How embarrassing. Suddenly I want to see Monster House.
I was just about to bring up Monster House.
You know, Jack, I don't think him being bigger is the main concern here.
I think it's the fact that he's an abomination.
Yeah. But yeah, before I cut you, were you just going to make a joke about Monster House, or was there something more?
No, I was thinking about Monster House. I wasn't quite sure how to lead into it, but then you did it, so I'm like, oh yeah, Monster House.
Yeah. I have a really good friend, Troy Saliba, who was, I want to say he was one of the directors. I don't know if he was a director at that point in his career, but he was pretty high-ranking working on that movie. But I feel like every once in a while we get really cool Halloween movies, and I can't think of what the last one is, like, culturally. I got nothing.
Yeah. You think of like Paranorman.
Yeah, like Paranorman or Coraline, and they don't even necessarily have to be like CG or
stop motion.
Stop motion, yeah.
Yeah. So with the darkness pustules here, in the past, whenever I've done this, I've just sort of gone up the tower, however, and tried to find them willy-nilly. But there is a kind of logic to starting at one point and then going up and getting all the rest. And I tried to do that here, but at one point I fall off and cut back, and it's like, I really wanted to do it in one clean motion, going from one to the next to the next.
Do you feel like the edge grip detection is good enough, or do you wish it was a little better?
I'd say it does the job.
Because I feel like some games... Oh, what did we get?
We got Second Chance. I now have all of the things that were the reason why I picked the shield at the beginning.
Nice. So what does Second Chance do?
Second Chance is what prevents you from dying due to cheap shots. If you have 2 or more HP and you take a hit, you are guaranteed to have at least 1. So, in order to die, you have to get down to 1 and then get hit again.
Sora gets the focus sash.
Yeah, so as soon as you get down to 1, just heal using your Leaf Bracer, and then you're fine. Yeah, right there,
no. Well, she didn't fall all the way, so that's something.
No. But yeah, so up here. Now, in this game, Second Chance covers all situations where you could die, and you get a chance at 1 HP anyway. In later games, they split it between Second Chance and Once More. Second Chance handles singular big attacks, Once More handles combos. And so Leaf Bracer, Second Chance, and Once More are the holy trinity of abilities in Kingdom Hearts that keep you alive.
Oh, gosh. I'm amazed you can save yourself from those floorboard
I think that
shenanigans.
I want to say that those floorboards are designed to throw you off, or like, sort of be like, without actually causing you to fall.
Okay. Because I hate the opposite, where it's like, you are explicitly scripted to fall off, and you're not getting around this without heavily glitching the game. I hate that stuff.
Yeah, no, I think it's just for flavor.
Yeah, no, that's cool.
Alright, we murdered the house.
He died as he lived. Forgettable. That's a very hot take for, I'm sure. You know what? No. I feel like if you like this movie and you're like a crazy fanboy or girl about it, it's gonna be for Jack. I mean, I'm sure there's some Boogie stands, but...
Hey, the keyhole was underneath his manor the whole time.
Wait, oh, that was kind of cool.
Yeah. They get creative with the keyhole lock.
For a second, I thought he was going to shoot it at the moon.
He kind of did.
Yeah.
Aha, we got Gravira. So that does make the area of effect wider, so you can catch more things in it.
Why didn't I listen to you?
Don't feel bad, Jack. We'll come up with another plan for Halloween.
Here's another scene that gets flashed back to like represent this game's version of Halloween Town.
Oh, her voice sounds so familiar.
I'm afraid I don't have the info on her Kingdom Hearts voice actress. I want to say it's the one from the film.
If it is, then I recognize her from somewhere else.
Hey, Pumpkinhead, this is a good keyboard.
Yeah, this is a good one.
We can finally use it here instead of the very out-of-place looking Little Mermaid one.
Yeah. Kath Sushi. Sushi? And I feel like I've heard... Okay, I'm going to dig into this a little bit.
All right.
Little Bunny, Tuffy. Oh! That's why she sounds familiar. She's Phil and Lil. And Helga. And oh my gosh. Wow, she just keeps working. Oh my goodness. Well, that's kind of what voice actors do. But...
So yeah, this is, like I was talking about before, this is where they're sort of ruminating on the nature of the heart and how Halloween Town is in no position to be understanding it, and really no one is. Even though their hang-ups and preconceptions aren't as obvious as the ones in Halloween Town, everyone is going to have them, and is going to lead to them misunderstanding or oversimplifying things.
Yeah. Okay, Catherine O'Hara did the movie.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't know who that is, but yeah.
But yeah, Oogie's Manor is gone, including the save point in it, which I really think that they should have made another save point in that area.
Yeah.
So now all of the chests that were in the manor have moved into a hole where the manor used to be.
I guess that makes sense.
Yeah. And that red trinity used to be in the manor, and it would have been gone if we weren't playing Final Mix.
So are we to understand that the bosses lose their hearts when we defeat them, or did they already, or are they like in the process of losing their heart, or like, because they seem like they're definitely altered as we fight them at some point, or at least
that's a good question. I want to say that they typically, as a result of defeating them, they fall to darkness. I don't know. Some of them get brought back in later games, and sometimes they explain how that happens. Sometimes they don't.
Yeah. Come to think of it,
sometimes I think they just die.
Yeah, and I was about to say, well, knowing what we know about Kingdom Hearts and the world and all that stuff.
Hold on, really quick. Down there is where the chests that you missed will end up.
Oh, you meant like that hole. And Trinity time.
I had Jack before, so I can get this Trinity now.
I was wondering why that wasn't working. I thought you could maybe land up there and get it. Could you?
Nah.
Oh.
No. Even if you could, the chest is inactive.
Yeah.
All right, we have an
Ansem
Ansem's report. I am now studying material from the meteors that rained down that fateful night. What a find. The material is foreign to our world, is elastic to the touch, and when two pieces are combined, they bond easily. None of the records I've scoured even mention such a substance. Was it introduced to this world when I opened that door? I wonder how many other such materials drift through the atmosphere of this tiny world. I wish I could soar off and find out. Could there be uncharted worlds up there? My curiosity never ceases to grow, but I should stop speaking of such unrealistic dreams. For now, there is no way to venture outside this world. My people and I are all but prisoners of this tiny place. So there's some of the only lore we get of gummy blocks in the series.
It really is interesting, because you do see some parallels between him and Riku.
Yeah, wanting to escape their world and see what else is outside of it. But when I first read that Ansem report, I want to say that I interpreted it as the walls separating the worlds being made up of gummy, and when you break the walls, they rain down. But I don't think that's what that means. At least not necessarily.
I like the theory, but yeah.
I think it's more that the walls there's just gummy blocks floating around in the ocean between constantly, and the walls keep them out, and when the walls go down, the meteors can make it through. Oh, yes, and we got a torn page last time, so we're going to do it here because this part would be really short otherwise. Oh, yeah, so last time I think I said that Rabbit's house was one of the longer segments. I would say that this one is probably the longest. I forgot about this one.
Oh, these are some big stumps.
Yeah, a little bouncing spot for Tigger and Roo.
Oh, Roo. I can
He's
never
in this
remember.
one.
Is Roo a boy or a girl? I can never keep
Roo's
that
a
straight.
boy.
Okay.
Yeah, there's a lot of activities in this little area, including probably the most annoying of the mini games that's scored.
An owl's here for some reason.
Yeah, once again, it's I don't think Roo has a voice actor here. Most of the dialogue in the 100 Acre Wood is just in text boxes. Yeah, no, I think it's just Pooh, Piglet, and Tigger that have voices, I think. Alright, time to play some bouncing Simon Says.
Oh yeah, Kangaroo's Hop. I never made that connection in my life with King and Roo. But tigers don't bounce. I guess they
But he's
can
not a
jump.
tiger, he's a Tigger.
That's true. Then again, big cats can jump really far. Man, the Keyblade jump extension is good tech.
Yeah, it's most necessary in this game, although there have been a couple of times in like Kingdom Hearts 2 where it's come in handy. But Kingdom Hearts 1 is the most platforming-centric of the series, so it's where it gets used the most.
Yeah. I appreciate platformers that let you conserve momentum when jumping. And
Oh, yeah.
I want to say Mario 64 is the only one I can think of that does that. Odyssey might a little, but...
Yeah, momentum is something that is underrated in movement tech, even though I would say that it is the most important thing. Like, I'm thinking of Gotham Knights, which, I started playing as Robin for the 9 hours I played that game before I gave up, and his, like, advanced movement tech is a short-range teleport, and it sucks. It's so not fun because there's no momentum to it.
Sounds like the Deadpool game. It's funny.
And actually,
'cause-
yeah, go ahead.
Oh, I was going to say, our most recent playthrough, Banjo-Kazooie, there is zero momentum.
Yeah, movement tech lacking momentum is actually something that some later Kingdom Hearts games struggle with, all the way up through Kingdom Hearts 3, I would say.
I almost wonder if that's an engine limitation. Well, not limitation, but something they haven't bothered to work around.
Oh, no, I think that that's just the team underrating it and being very stuck in their ways.
Yeah.
Ah, here it is, Tigger's giant pot. So, the nuts come up, you whack them, and then you get points based off of how high the nut was when you hit it. The object is to get 20 points in the lowest amount of time possible.
Oh. I like how
If you
Pooh's
fall
just
off,
creeping.
you die. Oh yeah, Pooh's just off in the background.
In
If
fact,
you fall off, you lose.
boy.
Oh, sorry, what were you gonna say?
Oh, nothing. Just, I realized that's not a house that Pooh is standing next to.
Nah, just a hollowed-out tree.
Wait, did you say you die?
You lose the mini game
Oh,
if
you
you
fail,
fall
okay.
off.
Okay.
And with the awkward tracking, like you can, Sora will try and spin around and hit it if you're facing away from the nut, and he'll miss it entirely.
Oh.
You don't always have the assurance that you're actually going to hit the nut.
Yeah, that sounds funky.
The best thing to do is to equip your longest keyblade and try and hit the nut. Like, you stand at a certain place and then jump and then hit it. I did it off screen. Yeah, because right there, you have to do it in under 30 seconds, I think. And some people really struggle with it because it's not the best mini game.
Yeah.
But I do get the score necessary, but not on screen, and I do it much later.
What? It's funny. I just had the thought. I want to see the pottery wheel that made that giant honey pot. Because, like, I guess you can make pots without a wheel.
Alright, so now that we've done the mini game, now it's just running around and grabbing all the random stuff around.
Right. I would not have thought to hit the log with your keyblade.
Yeah, it's sort of like rotted out in the middle. Mm-hmm. And I think you can see through and see the items sitting in there, so...
Oh yeah, you can.
So another thing, like the main collectible around here, you know, we got a couple of things right there. There's a chest. But the main thing are these nuts, those purple things up in the trees.
They almost look recycled from the Tarzan level.
They could be like a different, like a reskin of something from there. The thing is, and I didn't realize this when I first played it, for whatever reason, you can only hold one of these nuts at a time.
Oh.
So before I've been like just trying to grab a nut and being like, why won't it pick it up? And then it's like, oh, you gotta return it over to Owl. And I don't know why they did that.
Owl, you lazy son of a gun, you have wings.
Yeah, and some of the hitboxes on these nuts to collect them is really specific.
I hate that. I'm getting flashbacks to that. Probably not as bad as I remember, but still not good Jimmy Neutron game on the GameCube.
There's really just one, I think, that's really bad with the hitbox, but yeah.
I should replay that.
Oh yeah, so maybe I mentioned this, but with the like we got a strength boost and a defense boost. The icon for those is, I think it's supposed to be an onigiri.
Oh, that's neat.
Whereas the first one that you get of that is of that type of item is a tent. So I think a lot of Western players assume that it's supposed to represent a tent.
That's not a tent. Oh, I always thought it was a tent.
Yeah,
Huh.
I think it's... I'm not entirely sure. I'm pretty sure it's supposed to be an onigiri.
Next time you get something with that symbol, I'm gonna look at that.
Mm-hmm. I don't remember if there's another one here with Owl. Oh, there it is.
Yep, there it is. Yeah, I could see it.
Although there are... that one was green, where I think the earlier ones were orange. Huh.
I don't remember ever seeing an orange tent symbol on a rice ball. Jelly donut. I don't know if I've ever had onigiri.
I've tried to make onigiri. It didn't work out, mostly because
You're speaking, or you're preaching to the choir as somebody who's tried and failed to make mochi many a time, only to find out you need a certain kind of rice flour.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, right there, that's the bad, the nut that's really hard to get. Try dodge rolling into it, that should help.
Oh, man.
And of course, sometimes that Keyblade swing tech can backfire if you're up against a ceiling and Sora whacks the Keyblade against
Ooh.
it. That's what happened there, so I just fast-forwarded.
Yeah. I feel like if you're in combat, there should be like we're gonna not have sword bouncing off of surface, like, be as strict. Just, that can really screw you over.
And what did the torn page turn into? A mithril.
Man, you got like 3 mithrils in this part.
Yeah, mithrils, there's a limited number of mithrils that you can find in chests. You can make as many as you want via synthesis, but...
Oh, cool.
Yeah, I keep close eye on the mithrils that I acquire.
It's time to get this ship shape.
Yep, gonna head over to Halloween Town to prepare to fly over to the next world, but first we want to fix up our gummy ship a little bit.
Have they ever, like, released, like, a bag of gummy blocks to make your own little ship as, like, candy you can buy, like maybe Japan only?
It's possible, but nothing that I can think of. Alright, we got
Whoa.
a shield unit now.
I've seen all sorts of things I never touched.
Oh, and we got a lot more high-end armor blocks on there, so should have a lot more health. Well then, we will see you next time as we fly off to our next world.